everybody. Jimmy Rance here. I want to talk to you about something that I think we all kind of wish for, but it's not going to happen. I've been watching a lot of videos lately, really a lot of them, about how everybody wants to go back to the good old days. But I don't think we're going to get back to the good old days. You know, we complain, a lot of us, me too, I'm guilty too, of how expensive everything is. And it just seems so crazy today compared to the way it was, say, back in 1970. You know, back in 1970, a loaf of bread was like 25 cents for a loaf of bread. Today, I don't know. There's so many different types of bread. You can get it from, well, it's just outrageous. Everything's outrageous. It seems like comparing today's prices back to 1970 prices. Back in the 1970s, early 1970s, do you realize that an average house would cost about $17,000? For a house, $17,000. A brand new house would cost you about $23,000, I think it was. $23,000. $17,000 to $23,000. So, you know, somewhere in there. Don't hold me exactly to that. I've tried to look up some of these numbers. And when you compare that to what we pay today, oh my God, it sounds insane. I want to go back to the good old days. But there's something you got to think about. And this is what you forget. A lot of you forget about this. Now, back in 1970, the average salary was like, I think it was $8,700 to $9,800 or something like that. You earned, on average, under $10,000 a year. And you paid $17,000 to $23,000 for your house. And back then, your house was a lot smaller than it is today. And today, the people that go out and buy houses, they don't want to start off in a little smaller house, 2-bedroom house, 1 bathroom, or whatever as a starter home with the picket fence and the 2.6% kids, you know? You don't want that. You want your McMansions. You want all of this. I want 4 or 5 bedrooms. I want 6 bathrooms. I want a 3-car garage. I want to have a backyard that's just totally landscaped and swimming pools. And I got to have pool covers. And we got to have the privacy fences and just lush landscaping. And you wonder why you got to pay $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 for a house. Because your expectations today are different than they were back in 1970. And then I know I'm going to get a lot of this. Well, Jimmy, you know, back then, it only took one income to support the household. Maybe. But did you know, if you really go check the statistics, that back in 1970s, that 40 to 50% of the women worked outside of the home. They worked. My mother worked. My aunt worked outside of the house. My grandmother worked outside of the house. So don't tell me that women didn't have to work. Oh, yes, they did. I mean, whenever you're making under $10,000 a year, and you're buying a $17,000 to what was it, $23,000 house per capita, when you pay for food and for this and clothes for your kids to go to school and your taxes and all that stuff, it was rough back then too. It wasn't like you went to work and you paid your bills and you just had all this money left over. No, you didn't. You were broke as you are today almost. But today's people are so spoiled. I mean, you demand that you want, and I'm like this too, you want better schools. You want better roads. You want better law enforcement. You want better health care. You want better everything. Well, folks, this shit ain't free. It costs. You want all of these things to serve you, but you got to pay for it. I hate paying for it, but we have to. Seems like we've tried to up our standard. We want better everything. We want shinier, flashier cars. We want the big, like I said a while ago, the Big Mac mansions. The little small house that sits on the little tree-lined street, that's something of the past. We're not going to go back to 1970, people. You got to realize that. This is 2026. People have changed. Thoughts have changed. Desires and wants have changed. You got to pay for it. Where back in the 1970s, you didn't need all of this stuff. You didn't need all this stuff. What I really think that you want today, I mean, this is just my thinking, maybe I'm wrong. You want better family values. That's wonderful. I think you're looking for better morals. I think you're looking for better morals. I think you're looking for that, give me that good time religion. Give me that old good time religion. I think that's what most of you want. That maybe you had back in the 1970s when things were slower. There wasn't such a demand for all of this. Well, I need my McMansion. I need my granite and quartz countertops. And I need to have cabinets on every wall in every room. I want more places to put my junk. I want more because I'm a greedy bastard. I think that's what's really happened, folks. I think it's not so much that we want the good old days financially, because really per capita, it wasn't that much better financially back then than it is today. It seems it on today's scale because things are so high compared to back then, but so are the wages. The wages are higher too. And yes, it's very tough. But what I really think, whenever you say that you want to go back to the good old days, you want to go back to that, give me that old time religion. You want those morals. You know what I mean? You want those family values. And there's nothing wrong with that. But folks, we're not going to go back to 1970. I love the 1970s. And is it hard today? Yes, it's hard. But why is it hard? Because of greed. Not only greed with corporate America, they want more, so they price inch you to death. Everything costs more, but you want more yourself. You want better, like I said earlier, better roads, better schools, better law enforcement, better everything. You want everything. It ain't gonna happen, folks. You gotta pay for it. I wish we didn't, but we do. I'm Jimmy Rance. Yeah, just think about it. Just think about it. We don't make, $10,000 or under $10,000 in salary today. We make a lot more. So if you really think about it, it's probably pretty balanced, believe it or not. So if you're a first-time home buyer, why don't you get your mind off of that you've got to have the $600,000 house? Why don't you go back to like it was in 1970 and go look for a smaller house, something that you can afford? You know what I mean? Keep your feet on the ground, but keep reaching for the stars. Okay, I'm done now. I'm Jimmy Rance.